Salida, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim and welcome to the Sounds German review of the new Rantanplan album Stay Rudel, Stay Rebel. This German ska rock / punk band has been around since what feels like forever. And indeed have they been founded and released albums since the mid-90s. But so far they were somewhat ominous to me. It's like I always knew people who knew the band but never were really hard fans. Like everybody knew this rock group existed and their slightly humorous lyrics, but I can't remember ever seeing anyone I knew wear a t-shirt for them or even own a CD for that matter. But Rantanplan sure has been busy with releasing an album almost every year and arriving more and more in the mainstream success with their latest releases. So now we are here with Stay Rudel, Stay Rebel, and I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest, which mostly stems from the ska elements on this album, if you can even call it that, because really, there is only a bit of trumpets being thrown into the songs here and there in that regard. Per se, I really liked the horns. I felt that they jived quite well with the rockish guitars and added a sort of light-footedness to the tracks. The intro part of Kein Richtung Heimat comes to mind here, or Nachtzug nach Paris, where the trumpets just add to the easygoing but lively atmosphere of the song. But for the very most part, you will find the horns being put in the background so much that they feel more like a tiny sprinkle of salt on a dinner instead of being the spice that makes it outstanding. And I know the band has both a trumpet and a trombone player, but the way it's mixed, I found it really hard to distinguish. It mostly sounds like just a bunch of horns that are layered into the background somehow. I just have to assume that was done on purpose where it was done, because you have songs like Rude Girl from Outer Space or Kill den Spiegel, where the horns are clear in their presence and given moments in the spotlight. But then you have songs like Maschine or Food Porn where you can barely make them out, where you can basically just hear the peaks and only if you are really listening to it. And I feel the album is worse for it in those instances. The rock elements, meanwhile, are really solidly done and bring a good mix to the table. An Aus goes hard into a punk direction, for example. Party Trick has a sort of jokey atmosphere to it, with its rubber-like bass and guitars that intertwine with each other, which overall fits the song's mood really well given it's a comedy track. And some other songs like Food Porn are just these straight rock tracks with their droning guitars that really don't do anything special, but what they do, they are doing without flaw. A bit of an odd man out is the closing track The Rudel, which is a very calm song with clean guitars and an almost minimalistic instrumentation. It would have made for a relaxing and well-placed closer, but the problem is, it just doesn't feel like a full track. It barely is over 90 seconds long and basically just consists of two hooks without any verses, and it simply feels unfinished. I think I would have liked this one even more as an instrumental. As I said before, the atmosphere present here is great as a send-off to end an album on, but the way it is, it simply feels incomplete. The length in general might turn some people also away, I feel. With 30 minutes, this is a rather short album, and this also shows in the track listing. Which is also a pity, because Rantanplan managed to cover a diverse and partially quite serious set of topics here in a very non-cringy way. But many of the tracks are over before the message could be fully formed and really set in for the listener. I guess the upside to this is that no track ever outstays its welcome, but an additional minute here or there would have done some good. I found especially Maschine not only to be incredibly well done, but also a very currently relevant topic with overworking and workers that want to be machines so they can work even more. Stay Rudel, Stay Rebel, the opener, feels like a welcoming back for longtime fans and has this atmosphere of a brotherly hug to it while avoiding tired cliches. And as mentioned before, Party Trick is the comedy song of the disc, being a track about literally pissing your pants drip by drip so nobody notices and you don't have to get up to go to the toilet. And Nachtzug nach Paris also catches a wonderful dreamy atmosphere, especially in the hook, fitting a track about breaking out of the everyday into a small adventure. Vocalist Torben Meissner also does a good job here. I liked his slightly gruff voice with this little touch of raspiness to it, and for all the flaws the final track has, the more spoken delivery he presents there also suits him quite well. He can sound very relaxing and calming if he wants to. But at the same time, don't expect some crazy performance here either. Much like some of the aforementioned tracks, he has his thing, which is very grounded and nothing to go crazy about, but he is good at that one thing. And this can also be seen in An Aus, where it sounds like he attempts a bit of a more aggressive performance, and it just doesn't really work out. So, as a conclusion, when all the pieces fall together just right, Rantanplan deliver very solid rock that is spiced up with horns. But Stay Rudel, Stay Rebel also fails to impress. I'd have just as much a hard time to point to anything outstanding on this disc as I would have to point out any serious flaws. It's a solid rock album, albeit a short one that squanders the horns, which could make for a standout feature. Maybe Rantanplan should take a little bit more time for their next release and put some more polish on it, because this album felt a bit like a diamond in the rough. And I don't think that's what should be said over a band that has been active for this long. So, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, leave a like for the video or just subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and want more reviews for bands and artists you have probably never heard of before. If you have listened to the album, let me know with a comment what you thought about it, and if you want to check it out now, you can find all the relevant links in the description below. You can also find my social media accounts linked there. If you want to check out some random music, I do post at least one music video per day there. Thank you very much for watching, I hope to see you again next time. Have a nice day, Salida.